Okay, let's meet Herman. To anybody finding the courage to come out of their cell, PH, for Riley and River Shanks. Herman Crab. Herman Crab liked nothing better than spending time alone. He lived very happily by himself in his rock pool. He loved the peace and quiet. That's right, meet Herman, and he is all by himself and he's loving it. Many neighbors had tried to talk to Herman. Shelly Seahorse had no luck. Neither did Calvin Clownfish. And Sigrid Squinting failed miserably. No one has succeeded. He likes to be alone. Herman was comfortable eating his seaweed toast and drinking his plankton juice in peace. Herman loved that he could carve crabercises on a rock all by himself. And he especially loved that he could watch TV without anybody talking. He could laugh or cry without anybody seeing him. He loves doing everything all by himself, guys. Herman even liked that he was never invited to parties, because parties often involved others. Herman was not interested in others. Others would have parties, but not Herman. He likes to be all by himself. Then, one day, as he was enjoying his breakfast, alone of course, he heard a rather strange noise coming from the front of his rock pool. Knock, knock! Hello there! A friendly voice said when Herman answered the door. Who are you? Herman said grumpily. I'm Sandy Crab, said the sand crab as she entered Herman's house uninvited. I'm not gonna like it. Someone's here and she is very sandy. Herman began to feel his cell get all hot and bothered. He didn't like sharing his rock pool with anyone, particularly a strange and rather rude sand crab. I'm your cousin, said the sand crab. I sent you a letter telling you I'd be in town. Herman had received no such letter. In fact, Fred the postfish had stopped stopping it by Herman's rock pool altogether because everybody knew Herman loved being left alone. Ooh, I'm here in time for breakfast. Lucky me, said Sandy. Someone's enjoying breakfast time too, and Herman's not liking it. Sandy Crab loved to talk. All through breakfast, he spoke about seahorses, how much she loved dancing, and the new school where their cousin Harry was studying history. Herman didn't even know he had a cousin Harry. What? What's all this? Herman's not liking it, and Sandy is going on and on and on. Herman received a rude shock when Sandy joined him for his exercise. She huffed and puffed her way through the exercises Herman was doing. You're really good at exercise, Hermie, Sandy puffed. Herman had never been told he was good at something. That night, Herman sat down to watch his favorite TV show, Downtown Krabby, in peace and quiet. Sandy, of course, had other plans. Oh, no. Sandy talked all through Downtown Krabby, asking question after question. Who is that? Why did they do that? What happens next? Sandy even had the nerve to add her own sea salt to the popcorn. How dare she? Herman's not liking it a bit. The next day, it was time for Sandy to go home. This made Herman very happy. Herman finally had his peace and quiet back. He could enjoy breakfast all by himself once more. But as Herman read his newspaper, he found himself thinking about his cousin Harry studying history. He would never have read that in the newspaper. He only knew that because Sandy had told him. Then as Herman began his crab crunches, he felt a little different. He remembered when Sandy told him he was good at crabercises. It had been a long time since anybody said something nice to him. Later that day, Herman sat down to watch Downtown Krabby. He made his popcorn, but something was missing. Herman realized he really liked the seesaw that Sandy sprinkled on top, and he missed laughing with Sandy. All of a sudden, Herman felt quiet, lonely. Oh no! Herman looked around his empty, quiet house and knew what to do. He sat down and wrote a letter. Then he left his lonely rock pool, found Fred the postfish, and asked him to deliver it. Herman waited and waited and waited until one day there was a knock on the door. Before Herman had even opened it, he heard a friendly voice ask, "Am I too late for breakfast? Could this be?" Herman was so happy to see Sandy. He made a special seaweed toast and plankton juice. They did crabercises together, and Sandy added her sea salt to the popcorn as they watched a new episode of Downtown Krabby. Herman still liked spending time alone, but just not at all the time. It was nice to have both. Soon, Herman began talking to fish more. He became interested in others. He even began teaching his own very crabercise classes. And you'll never guess what he did one afternoon in his rock pool. Guess what? Herman Crab to a party. That's right. Herman. Who would have thought? That's right. Herman has his new friends and he likes their company. And that's right. He's throwing a party. And look at them. Sandy is with him. I think Herman. And that's Herman waving them goodbye at the end of the party. Bye guys, see you again very time soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. A delightful story about friendship and solitude.